Dostal, the 25-year-old goalie, just turned 25 in Anaheim, signed a 5-year, $6.5 million AAV extension with the Ducks. He is their goalie of the future. He is a big reason why they traded away John Gibson to the Detroit Red Wings, and he's coming off a year where he started 49 games, appeared in 54, put together what I would call very impressive numbers considering the quality of team he played for in the Anaheim Ducks. He's got 2 full seasons as basically an NHL starter. I know the year before he only started 38 of their 82 games, but he's legit. Eye test, analytics, all that stuff. Lukás Dostal is a number 1 goalie in the making. He gets a 5 by $6.5 million deal, and that leads a lot of people to go, well, what does this mean for Stuart Skinner? Stuart Skinner has better regular season numbers than Lukás Dostal. Maybe not last year, but Stuart Skinner in his first season as a starter popped off a 914. Even in 2023-24, he had a 905, which is still a better save percentage than Lukás Dostal has had in either of his 2 full seasons in the NHL. So one guy puts up better numbers on a better team, one guy puts up worse numbers on a garbage team, and kind of gives you the better feeling that he can be a legit number 1. But what I find interesting about Dostal, comparing him to Skinner, is that a lot of the stink for Stuart Skinner comes from how he's played in the playoffs and how he doesn't elevate in the playoffs or gets worse in the playoffs. With Dostal, I mean, you don't know if he gets better or worse in the playoffs. It's a bit of an unknown. I love the contract for Anaheim because, again, with the way the market's going, lock up your young guys while you can. But still, the comparison to Stuart Skinner, like we got a question in the mailbag that was like, what would you sign Stuart Skinner to this contract? Or what does this mean for Stuart Skinner? And like, if Skinner takes a step forward in the regular season this year, and let's say he's, 9-10, starts 50 games again, has a really consistent regular season, and then plays well in the playoffs, Stuart Skinner probably gets a contract pretty close to this because with Dostal, they're buying, I think, 3 RFA years out of the 5. With Stuart Skinner, he is a pure unrestricted free agent. He can go to market on July 1 next year. This actually might be a somewhat decent comparable for a Stuart Skinner contract if next year goes well for him. If it's another poor playoff performance and all that, Stuart Skinner's not going to be in Edmonton again if he has another poor playoffs or a poor regular season, or if they just replace him at the deadline. Like, there is a path, and maybe it's the most likely path. I'm not here today to make that declaration either way, but there's a path to Stuart Skinner not being an Oiler a year from now. There's also a path to him getting a contract like Dostal, I think.
For sure, and it's a lot of money to spend on, like, your starting goalie, for sure. I think it's a really good deal for Anaheim and Dostal. Like, I think he's legit. The numbers don't jump out at you, but like, he's legit number 1.
We've seen it firsthand with that, dude.
Yep,
exactly. But I think like Stuart Skinner, I think the number, no matter when you extend Stuart Skinner or if you don't, somebody is going to pay him about that same amount of dollar value. Like, I just don't think the numbers, like the years, are going to be there. Like, I don't think if the Oilers were to extend him, he's not going to get 5 years. I think it's going to be like a shorter term contract, still like a show me deal. But I think that it's a very good comparable if Stu can go out and like be a dog this year, like we kind of expect him to.
Yeah, and again, this is all on the premise of like he has a good bounce back season.
So what is a good bounce back season for Stuart Skinner in the regular season? It's all on the playoffs, but
50 games played, above a 905. I'd like to see a 910 save percentage.
I can get down with that.
And then in the
it all matters about the playoffs.
All that matters is the playoffs. Yeah. But I do think like there's a world where coming out of January, Stuart Skinner has you confident enough or has this front office, I should say, maybe not you listening or watching the show, where he has the front office confident enough that he can be better in the playoffs and that they don't need to address it at the deadline. So I don't know. Again, the Dostal deal, it's not a direct comparable because we're buying RFA years. It's a guy on a bad team who's never been in the playoffs. It's a guy who has been in the playoffs but has shrunk when that moment's hit him. Like, there's too many variables. It's a little too apples to oranges where they're both fruits, but they're both very different. I think it can provide an interesting comparable if this season plays out in a very specific way. What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.